Hey everybody, it is time for Q&A Wednesday, and I apologize for the lighting situation here. I'm staying at a hotel tonight, out delivering some groceries to my son. So, hey, have a great topic to talk about tonight. We're talking, and like I said, I get my best ideas and my best questions from clients and conversations that I have, and of course, something always comes up every week when people check in. And this week, I actually had a great idea of talking about how to best measure your progress, because the problem is we've become so attached to the scale and it just doesn't mean enough information. And so case in point, had one of my lovely clients this week. She's so awesome. And she's seeing results and the inches are going down and she feels different, but the scale hasn't moved. And so of course she's frustrated, and we all do. We all get to that point. Even I've been on the scale recently and gone, what is going on? So keep that in mind. I know, like, it's kind of a weird angle here. So hi, Marilyn. Okay, maybe that helps just a little bit there. I feel really short when it does that. So let's talk about progress. You know, I work with people where I'm really trying to teach them a lifestyle, and that it takes time, and that it's not how quick you get there, it's how long you stay there once you get there. And so the issue is, you know, when people focus solely on the scale, they miss these amazing clues that their body is telling them where things are working. And so then they start to freak out and think, okay, well, I'm eating too much food. And if you have any questions about that, you'll have to see my Facebook Live from Monday, where I talked about the truth about weight loss, why drastic diets are very harmful to you in more ways than one. So, you know, people start to go, okay, well, maybe I'm just eating too much. And it's not true. They're seeing results. They're just not seeing the results that they think they should be seeing. It's kind of like when I'm working with new clients that are... Rob Grove wants to know if I'm taking any kind of hormones. Actually, I take bioidentical hormone replacement therapy because, Rob, I am 44 and my hormones had tanked, according to my hormone specialist. So I do, but not the kind of hormones I think that you're talking about. I actually take things that are very legal and made locally for me. So, okay, so back to what we're talking about. So first, I think you really have to go back and decide, what is it exactly that you want to see? What is your goal? So many of us talk about weight loss, and weight loss is not exactly, I don't think that we look at it the correct way, right? Because weight loss could be multiple things. Weight loss, honestly, could be my muscle. Let me just tell you how hard it is, how heavy I lift, how often I work out, and how much food I eat to get even just the muscle that I have. Yeah, so do I really want to lose it? No, because actually muscle is a natural fat burner. So you have to be careful that you're looking at the right thing. So I don't believe in weight loss. I believe in fat loss. So the problem with that scale is that it doesn't really tell you how much of that, it really doesn't tell you where it's coming from. It just tells you what you weigh, as according to, you know, a sack of potatoes. It doesn't say, well, a portion of this is water weight, which anyone who's dieted at all should know that the first 5+ pounds is going to be water weight, because of course, as you stop eating as much, your body doesn't retain as much water, especially if we are cutting down on carbs, crappy carbs especially, right? So it's really kind of a misconception that those first few pounds are even fat. They're not. They're probably just water weight. But after that, your scale won't necessarily tell you that, hey, this portion of it is actually fat, but this portion is actually muscle, and that's not so great. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about those scales that have the bioimpedance on it, because I have one of those. And, you know, those are really, really hit and miss. They're going off of the hydration from your body. I have not once had my scale tell me the correct amount of body fat, because I actually get pinched. The body fat pinch is a little bit... okay, so Rob is asking again about hormones. You know, that's a really great topic, Rob. I've talked about hormones before, in both men and women. You know, hormones is a big part of not only health as we're growing up and we're trying to grow, and, you know, we're not even just talking about sex hormones. We're just even talking about all hormones. And I highly recommend that you see not just your primary care provider. I know I'm totally off on a tangent right now, but hey, it was a question. Not just your primary health care provider, because when they test your hormones, they're actually going to tell you, they're looking for your hormones to be normal at your age, and I don't want to be normal for my age, right? Even for women, after about age 35, the decline of our testosterone starts to really drop, and then women wonder when, you know, why they're gaining weight around the midsection, they're struggling to lose weight. So it's really important, hi Justine, it's really important to actually see somebody who is that's their thing, to see a professional in that industry. So you want to see a specialist, because my specialist looks at my hormones. Like I said, the goal is to have them where I was at 35. And like I said, that's almost 10 years ago. So the benefit there is that for every hormone that you bioidentically replace, now guys, the synthetic stuff, no good. And I can do a whole thing on that on another time. But you need to bioidentically replace them. It actually buys you 10 years of youth, both inside and out. So huge benefits to it. Guys, especially, I know your testosterone starts to drop, as you get a little bit older as well. So there's nothing wrong. Age does not have to be a chronic illness, right? You're only as young as you feel and act. So, okay, sorry, back to the topic, which is how do we best measure our progress? So I just talked about the fact that my scale, and it was an expensive scale. So yeah, that Nokia scale, I get on there and I don't even wait for it to tell me my body fat because, no, it's okay, Rob, no biggie. Because that it just doesn't tell me correctly what my body fat percentage is. I do get it measured fairly regularly. Just because to me, it's a tool. We're going to talk about that. But yeah, so I only weigh myself just to weigh myself, and I only do it once a week. Okay, so let's get back into this. So we talked about the scale does not give you enough information, because really, again, your goal is not to lose weight, it's to lose fat. So, I've actually taken scales away from my clients, especially if they get too fixated on those numbers and they rely solely on that because they could be seeing progress elsewhere. Case in point, several years ago, my guys are just as bad. I should say, okay, you guys, you're not bad. But when it comes to the scale, some of my clients, my guys even are, one moment they're telling me they're doing their belt buckle up 3 more notches. And then the next minute they're freaking out that the scale's not moving. Okay, which would you rather have, right? If you think about it, I do regularly ask my clients when they start to freak out a little bit, well, do you want to be smaller or do you want to weigh less? Because they don't always go together. Sometimes your body is making changes. You're just looking for the wrong thing. So I use multiple measuring tools with my clients because that way, as long as something is changing, I'm happy. If you just go off the scale, half my clients aren't making any progress. But if I start looking at the other tools that I use, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, major things are happening, right? And your body is so complex. You can't expect to just do simple things like, oh, you know what? I weighed myself in the morning and I weighed myself at night and it's totally different. Well, yeah, because you are eating and drinking and your body it's a complex machine. So you can't just count on one tool. You have to rely on these others. So let's talk about a little bit about that. And also realize too, muscle is way more dense. Muscle mass is way more dense than fat. So of course it weighs more for the same amount of space. So if you're building muscle, especially if it's your first time around, don't freak out if the scale goes up a little bit before start coming down, because that muscle weighs something, and that's okay. So my best representation, and I'll have to find a picture and post it down here when I'm done, when in, 2010, I was still about 190 pounds. My heaviest weight was 210, but at about 190 pounds after breast reduction surgery is kind of where I started. My first time coming down, when I hit, when I hit a size 6, so, first time I came down when I was 125 pounds, I was a size 6. Now when I'm 125 pounds, I'm a size 2. So what does that tell you? Same weight, smaller body. So again, which do you really want? You guys got to stop focusing on the scale. Okay, so let's talk about ways that you can know that you're progressing without solely focusing on that as a tool. Number 1, your clothes fit better. I mean, come on. Unless you just washed your jeans and dried them in the dryer, your clothes are not going to lie to you. It makes a huge difference. Are they tight? Are they loose? Do they look different? Do they feel different? Your clothes, like I said, they're not going to lie to you just to make you feel better. So it's a great way to know if you're making changes. So even clothes that I've had because of course I have quite the range of clothes depending on what season I'm in, but clothes that I put on from like 3 years ago don't fit me the same because I'm not even the same shape that I was 3 years ago because of the way that I keep building my shape. So Justine says she's loving her baggy jeans. I know. You're welcome, honey. I told you. So clothes really do make a difference. It's a great tool. Number 2, use measuring tape. Holy cow. That's probably, besides body fat, that's probably one of the biggest tells. Because again, the measuring tape isn't going to lie to you. It's really important that you get the same person to measure you every time. And I would Reason being is that they need to measure the same exact spot so that it's actually, measuring apples to apples. I know that seems funny. But that's super important because, again, you don't want misinformation on that. But it's a great tool. Cute little gal that I just love her. Has to have her dress resized for the wedding because she lost some inches. Didn't lose weight, but lost inches. So pretty exciting, right? So measuring yourself and, just chart it. I mean, anymore, you can probably find an app to chart it. I'm old school. I like pencil and paper and all that stuff, but it is important because, again, as long as something's moving, then I'm happy with my client's progress, and I try to teach them to be happy with that as well. So the next one is body fat because, of course, that makes the biggest difference. To me, I don't care what my size is. I care more about what my body fat percentage is because that tells me, well, that gives me actually a lot of information. I know how to adjust my meal plan. I know if I need to increase my cardio. Like I know my body pretty well at this point. I've been competing for several years, and I learned, because I'm a coach and a trainer, I've learned to pay attention. So I know what those numbers mean. I know how to adjust from them and work with that. So, I mean, it makes a big difference. The next one, and everybody hates this one. I know. Pictures. Okay, guys. As a coach, I see more in those pictures than personally I see from anything else. I do ask for some other measurements in order to get, a good picture of what's going on. But especially if I don't live local to that client and they're just emailing me or texting me information, I'll side by side those puppies and look to see what's changing in their form. And here's the deal. I know that it sucks, especially if you're not where you want to be or you're starting back at, ground one. You've got to take those pictures. I know it's uncomfortable, but you're going to wish you had. More than once, I've had clients freaking out, and I've gone back and taken day one pictures and current pictures side by side of those and went, look. And they're going, oh, okay, I am making progress. You see yourself in the mirror every day. It's hard to see those changes. So it's necessary to have those snapshots in time so that not only do you know where you're going and that you're making progress, but when you're struggling and frustrated, you can go back to see where you started, because that's really important. I think sometimes we forget to rejoice in the progress that we've made so far. Other things, those to me are the biggest four, but there's other things to pay attention to as well, because honestly, it's not just about weight loss or fat loss and getting smaller. I mean, more energy. If your energy level is up and you feel good, maybe you've been in pain a lot of your life, and that pain is subsiding. I mean, that's a pretty incredible thing. Other things, is your sleep improving? That's a big deal because, of course, you can't keep going and rejuvenate yourself if you're not getting the sleep that you need. Of course, that could be why you're not dropping as well. So keep that one in mind. Is your strength up? Do you find that you're able to do more than you were before? How about even your mobility? How about your balance? I think these are things that go to the wayside because we're so focused on how we look, that those are pretty immense, signs of progress. The other one that I thought of that I know sounds really kind of weird, but in this day and age where we're just dealing with a lot of sickness and disease and things that are going on, again, topic for another time, but is your immune system good? Are you getting sick less frequently? I rarely get sick at this point, like almost never. The only time I get sick is if I'm just overdoing it and my body finally goes, you know what, you're gonna rest, here you go. So come on, that means something. And now again, in my past, that wasn't always true. My body didn't react that way, but because I eat on a really healthy, clean diet at this point, my body's just different. It reacts different. So, those are some great signs of progress. You have to pay attention, and you've got to celebrate every point of your progress. If it's progress, guys. It means you're not going backwards. So just a couple of tips from somebody who's been there, I work with people all the time. Obviously, I have quite a few clients right now. I know it is the beginning of the year. But you know what? If you're going to weigh yourself, only do it once a week. And if you're struggling with that, leave it at once a month. It doesn't have to be once a week, but don't do it every day because your body fluctuates. Even over a course of a day, it can fluctuate several pounds. So if you focus on, that's why I always giggle when people send me their information at night. I'm like, did you just take your weight right now? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why would you not do it in the morning? Because again, your body's going to be doing different things and retaining water and some different things as you go throughout the day. So don't do it every day. It's going to mess with your head. Now, I do know some people that they feel like it keeps them accountable. It keeps them focused on what they're supposed to be doing. I guess that's okay, but I really feel like it's just not enough information, and you can really mess with your head when the scale is so prevalent, right? The number's so prevalent there. And then, like I said, take all the progress as progress, guys. If something's moving, you're on the right track. Again, if you feel like you're not seeing results fast enough, there's a couple things you need to do. You either need to get a coach who is more about lifestyle. And I just work that way because I've been at both ends of the spectrum, and I've done every flippin' diet in the book. So I know, the yo-yo diet, the taking it off drastically and not being able to continue with that, and then putting it all back on plus some. So if you're really struggling with that, you might need somebody to be accountable to that can help you through that situation, because it's not healthy. It's not mentally healthy for you. Okay, just lost my train of thought. Welcome to my day. So hopefully that really helps you to how to really focus on the right thing. So if the scale is really a struggle, you might have to put it away for a while. You might have to go to only weighing yourself once a month. Make your husband throw it away or put it away or something. Guys, make your girlfriend, wife, whatever, put it away for a while, just because that way you rely on those other measurements for your tools. So, okay, that's all I had to say there. So hopefully that helps. Again, I really feel like we've just gone through, for some odd reason, I don't know why we're still talking about it. I don't know why we haven't gotten a better understanding on how our body works, and looking at how to be a healthier person, a healthier body, and how nutrition makes such a difference in our overall health, even our mental and emotional health. Nutrition plays such a huge role in that. So we've got to get away from the scale. We've got to get away from what we think is, the best. I want to get skinny. I want to lose weight. How about just becoming the best, most healthiest, best feeling person that you possibly can be, with as much energy as you possibly can have, and try. It really even affects our age at multiple levels. So hopefully that helps you to know what the best way to chart your progress is as you are trying to reach your health goal. I'm here for you. And again, I get my best ideas from you guys and my clients. So feel free to leave messages below. You can also direct message me on Facebook Messenger, and I love answering questions. It's great. So have an incredible evening, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.